snail mail is dead.
I'm this close to taking the $17,000 machine and just throwing it out. We spent over $17,000 on this mailing machine, and so far, the ROI has been trash. We've had such a hard time getting people to respond to flyers that we've sent out, getting to open the flyer in the first place, and we just don't really have the analytics needed to know if this thing has been a great or a huge waste of money. I am this close to just taking the machine and throwing it off the edge. I should probably sell it, but I feel like throwing this thing off because it's been such a big waste of money. But here's the rundown of what this thing can do. The reason we first bought this is because we thought that if we over time built a super big database of addresses of people that have lawn care companies but don't have our lawn care company, it could be a really good strategy to send out mailers. And this machine here, what it can do, it can take 2 different letters and insert them into one envelope, seal the envelope and spit it out, literally 1 letter per second, so it can go very quickly. And then this machine can stamp it. The reason why we spent $17,000 though is because this postage allows us to get direct mail to people for 50 cents a letter. Now if you work through Canada Post, you can send flyers out for about 18 cents a letter, but you don't get to choose who it goes to. You have to choose it by postal code. This one is very targeted towards specific addresses for about 50 cents a letter, or if I go to Costco to buy stamps, it's closer to 88 cents. 50 cents, 88 cents, it doesn't sound like a big difference, but when you're working with thousands of letters, it adds up very quickly. I don't like physical mail out. I do think mail's kind of dead. I think about myself, I go to my mailbox, I get my flyers, I sort through them, I keep the pizza ones, because you never know if you need a nice pizza on sale, right? But the rest just goes into the shredder. And I feel like the same things happen with our letters. So what we're doing now is that I'm going to give this letter one more chance. I've wrote 2 pretty nice looking letters that we're gonna send out, just an introductory offer to some Calgarians, people in our city that aren't clients right now. But I'm gonna do a split test. This split test is going to be where 1 letter physically has somebody's address on it and it gets sent out, and we're going to have the machine just stamp it and their address is in the window. It kind of looks like a marketing sales letter, so I don't expect a huge open rate on it, but it's very quick to do. The second letter, we're gonna have Claire here actually physically write each address, like 330 40th Avenue Northeast from Claire, and her address there too. And the hope is that if we get people to actually open the letter and look at it, I do think that this is an offer so good that they'd feel stupid saying no to. The biggest challenge is getting people to open the letter in the first place. So we're gonna do a sample of 250 letters that Claire wrote versus 250 letters that the machine wrote to see what the difference is first and foremost, and 2, to see if this is even worth it. Because honestly, if this mail drop doesn't work, I'm done with this machine. I'm this close. I'm gonna go find someone that still does physical letters to sell this to. I have no idea how much of that $17,000 we're gonna recuperate, but this thing has just been a headache. I have probably 50 gray hairs in my head, 33 of which probably came from this machine. It's important that we get this thing figured out because I like to say that physical mail is not dead, but I don't have evidence to prove that it's not. Claire, show us how this machine works.
So you put the flyers in this end, throw the envelopes in here. You're gonna have to do a couple tests in order to make sure that the address is in the right spot. Okay, so the address isn't even showing up. So we need to go to the machine, pull it all the way back up. Do one more test. The address is perfectly in line, so mail set's okay, and just start up the machine.
The whole point why we bought this machine, honestly, is to get this stamp right here. This stamp allows us to send postage for 52 cents per letter to a specific address. Us buying stamps at Costco, for example, is at least 88 cents per letter we send. So that's significant savings. But you know what? There's no point in having savings like this. If people go to the mail, they pick it up, oh nice, another letter, and just throw it into the trash. We need to get people to open these letters, which is why we're doing a split test with these ones you just saw and the handwritten ones that Claire's going to be sending out at the same time. I mean it, guys. If we can't get these letters into the homes of our prospects, we might as well just put it into the hands of the landfill and get this thing hauled away ASAP because it's taking up valuable room, and I don't want to lose my head of beautiful brown hair, and I don't want to become a gray landscape pretty soon, so we gotta make this mail out work. All right, guys, so the results are in from that mail drop that I did, and it was a disaster. It was bad. I sent out 500 letters, and I booked 2 people. I had 2 lists, essentially. I had the first list that we used a handwritten envelope, and our other list was more of a window style, quicker to do, but less of an open rate. So the 2 people we booked came from actually the handwritten list, and in revenue from those 2 letters, we made $606, but it cost us about $500 to do this drop. $250 was postage, about $200 was for the actual printing, and $50 was for the actual envelope. So I cannot get mail drops to work, and I think I did everything right. I had the nice looking design, everything there. Disaster. I had the right promotion offering. Disaster. I was going to a pretty credited list of people. I know they all have lawn care services. Disaster. The timing, I'll admit, wasn't great. We sent it out in November here, and typically you'd want to do this in March when the snow has melted, the birds are chirping, so the timing was wrong, but I thought I'd get a little bit of data, and I just could make this happen there. So, guys, I think we need to sell that machine. I think we need to get rid of it. I'm willing to give it one more shot, because one thing I'll own up to is that the list of people I used could have been a little bit more solid. Maybe I should have done these letters to people that were a client in the past and they were canceling, or people that just haven't continued services with us, or people that got a quote in the past and didn't book with us. I maybe should have used them as my list of people. We just chose a list of people we had. We had some people on file that were with another lawn care company and not with ours, so we thought we'd give that a try, but this whole promotion, unfortunately, was disaster. Put in the fire. It's firewood. I should just take the rest of those printouts I have and just throw them in the fireplace. It'll probably be worth more than send them out for letters. So I'm curious, guys, have you ever been able to get mail to work, flyers to work, snail mail to work? Because we've tried several different things, and I am, at this point, convinced that it's dead. The reason that I might keep the machine would be to maybe do some customer service reach outs, a nice handwritten letter to say thank you for working with us. But even then, what's the actual ROI in that? My biggest challenge with letters is that you can't track the ROI. It is so difficult. How many people actually opened your letter? How many people read it, responded, but you guys actually never talked to each other? How many people actually booked from that flyer in particular? And how do you stop it from going to the relevant houses, the non-relevant houses, etc.? So I'm frustrated. This whole campaign was a mess, but you know what? In entrepreneurship, you try things. In business, you got to try things all the time. So I'm happy we tried it. Unless somebody at the office can think of a better idea, I think I'm done, and that machine just got to get thrown off a cliff. But until then, guys, flyers. Leave me in the comments if you found a way to work, and we'll see you in the next video.